Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Somebody's Heroes. We are here today with the Fate Makers, or rather, the Fate Maker. I'm Eric, I'm the Dungeon Master.
I'm Mika, and I play Lemon Little Tart.
Okay, so, Lemon, it has been a couple of days since Amy moved in at this point. Amy moved out of her mom's office place at the university, brought all her and Tommy, moved all of her shit in, and you no longer have to stay at Cass's to keep Tor fed. You are in your apartment, and you see this note fly in a window that tracks you down and unfolds on a table in front of you in your apartment. That just reads, "Meet me at the Golden Crystal Pub at noon to learn the truth." And it just has the letters R.P.
All right. So, Lemon heads out.
Okay. So you head up to the Golden Crystal Pub in the government district, right across from the main governmental spire, where all the government officials work. That's where you go to get like licenses and all kinds of other, the bureaucratic bullshit office. But it's like a 12-story building. It is the most obvious and tall building in Tauliba. Out front of there is a very large, plaza, and the Golden Crystal is on one of the sides of this plaza. As you're rolling up, you do see that it's crowded here today, which isn't normal. There isn't. I mean, people have to come here all the time, but it's not usually this crowded at lunchtime. And it looks like there is a stage that is being set up for something. And you enter into the Golden Crystal Pub to meet up with your contact. You put word out. You sent them word a couple days ago that you needed to meet with them about searching for Cass, who was last seen headed up to the CEO's office. You're meeting up with them for that, with having let them know a couple of days ago to see what they could rustle up. They've gotten some truth tea that's ready for you, and you see him over in a corner booth where it's just a very dark-skinned human that's balding human that's got curly jet black hair around. The little bit of hair that he has is curly in his beard, and he's got a full beard. And you know him to be Director Reginald Powers, who is, ironically enough, one of the directors of the Arcano Crystal Innovation Department. But he's the best contact you've got. And he's just sitting there eating and drinking away.
Okay. All right. I grab myself a drink, just some water with lime, some fizzy water. So it looks like I've got a little alcoholic drink.
Okay.
Myself.
They pour a little bit of carbonated water and squeeze a little lime in and put the actual lime on the side, so you can add more if you choose. Enjoy, darling.
Thank you. And I head over to my contact, flying, and then slowly descend into the chair.
Ah.
You rang?
Ah. Good of you to meet me. Mr. Little Tart.
Well, good of you to contact me, Mr. Powers.
Well, I've done some research and done some digging on this person, Cass, to whom you mentioned. Did you know she knows the CEO intimately?
I had an idea, anyway.
Well, apparently, after she showed up, one of our lead scientists on a classified device went to visit him as well. She never left, that anyone saw, and then nobody came out. And that was on the date in question. 2 people went into the office, none came out, and still have not come out. It's quite possible she's still there, but it's also possible she's not.
Spells. Could be a spell, could be hidden room. Could be a terrible many things. But it's something.
Indeed, there are many options.
Do you have any other information?
I don't. However, what I do have is an additional truth that a colleague of mine is about to present outside. And you start to hear a crowd assembling and forming outside where it looked like they were setting up a stage.
Mm-hmm.
You see that the stage is done being built. They were just putting like final touches and stuff on. And there's a person up there that is actively talking and trying to gather a crowd. They're just doing like normal announcer MC type stuff to try and gather a crowd to them. And he looks over. Yes, she should be up any minute. Would you like to go join the crowd?
Lemon doesn't answer and flies up and towards the door. Towards the crowd.
He takes that as a sense of acknowledgement, and he just stays seated because he knows the information. He's not going to stand up and cause attention to be drawn to himself right this second. As Lemon gets to the door, the crowd has condensed because it was busy outside anyway, but the crowd is now condensed and people seem to be funneling from the market district on up in, like they were able to hear because thaumaturgy. And the crowd is insanely dense, like you would expect at like a concert. Everyone's all asking each other, what are we here for? What's going on? Do you know? And you're hearing all kinds of those types of whispers throughout. And you see 2 people up on stage who are like setting up a podium and a couple of things, laying out paperwork. And you see a high elven woman with glasses on, hair put up in a ponytail, full on pantsuit with a lab coat. She just walks up, taps the mic twice to activate the thaumaturgy spell that's embedded in the mic, and the crowd starts to quiet. My name is Erilyn Valarin. I'm a senior arcanosynchronist at Tautech. For over 5 decades, I've helped design the Arcanotech that powers our homes, fuels our commerce and drives our way of life. I believed in that work, and I believed in Tauliva. You hear some whispers. Wait, was that past tense? And I still do, which is why I must speak out today, because I know too much to stay silent. She puts both hands on the podium. The systems we depend on are failing. Quietly, steadily, and undeniably. You hear more murmurs ripple out, including a little gnomish gentleman who pipes up and goes, "Why haven't we heard of this before?" Diagnostics, internal logs, and secret eyewitness accounts even confirm it. Sectors across this city are operating on unstable ground, and nothing is truly being done. Warnings are being scrubbed. Failed experiments are being explained away, and failures throughout the city are being hidden and contained. The truth is being kept under lock and key. The same guy pops up. "You're saying they know?" An orcish lady down around on the other side of you goes and nudges you and goes, "She's right. The lights downtown flickered the other day."
Yeah, Lemon just nods like, "Oh, yes, I was there. I saw it. Saw it with my own eyes."
Wait, you're saying it's true? As the high elven woman continues. Yes.
Oh god, no, I was trying to...
What?
Damn it.
So, Erlyn heard that gnomish gentleman in the back. Yes, Tautech knows. The government, points to the building behind her, knows. And they've chosen concealment over collaboration and solving the problem. Because acknowledging the truth would cost them control.
Oh, she's asking to be assassinated.
And they are not alone. The entirety of the city council knows. Many at Tautech know it is not ignorance that these issues are happening. It is permission. A younger human boy, just down a little further than the orcish lady, pipes up and is like talking to his friend and says, "Parasol Power just said it was this storm's interference." There's a bunch more shouting and anger, a lot of confusion going on in the crowd right now. The reassurances were given, scripted. Inspections were prearranged. The oversight that they are saying happens is all a farce. This is not corporate negligence. Tautech knows this is collusion at the worst degree. In less than a month, Torsamil will have its greatest minds coming here for the Founders Day Fair. And what are we giving them? A celebration of our greatest achievements. A celebration of their achievements. No. We are giving them a celebration built upon lies and deception. You hear a couple of people in the crowd call out, "Cancel the fair!" a couple others are saying, or like hearing or talking to each other, saying, "Is the city safe or not? Like, should we consider getting out of here?" And they, I mean, that couple leaves the crowd. Erilyn begins speaking again. Underneath the fireworks and banners, the cracks remain, and if ignored, even a city as proud as Tauliva can lose its footing. That last line lands with the crowd for just a second. You can hear a silence at the level of that a pin could drop. So, to Tautek and to those who govern beside them, tell us the truth or we will find it ourselves. We are a brilliant people. We know when something is going wrong. And we are starting to know now. Because there are more like me. Dock workers, innovators, engineers, scientists from the university are starting to learn of these problems. We know and remember what this city was meant to be and its founding principles. This city is a beacon of discovery and advancement for the benefit of all peoples of Torsamil. It is not a deception. I have read the works of the founder and our founding documents. Torsamil, hang on, back that up. Tauliva was built on vision. It cannot stand on secrets. And if those secrets deepen, then you risk more than trust. You risk everything. You think you're buying time when what you're really doing is selling out the future. And when the truth comes to light, the world will be watching. She folds up her speech. And as she's doing that, the crowd starts half cheering, half chanting phrases like, "Tell the truth! Expose the secrets!" And a call is going out from the same people who called it earlier. "Cancel the fair! Cancel the fair!" As she, with a straight face, turns around and steps off the stage. And then the MC gets back up and just introduces a band, and the band starts to play and stuff like that as the crowd begins talking amongst themselves and figuring out what their next actions are going to be. Is there anyone here you wanted to talk to specifically?
Is there anyone I recognize?
Not offhand. You go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Right.
And remember, you do have the director who's back in there, who told you to come out and listen to this. You could try and track down Erilyn as well. And what was your perception?
18.
18. Ooh, meets it. God, I love it. Off the corner of your eye, you see a Goliath and a halfling begin to walk down the street. And you notice a tattoo on the Goliath's neck that looks like a churro.
Son of a... Kumquat. I re-summon Kumquat from the void dimension that all familiars stay in when you don't require them. With a little buzz, I point to them and say, follow them at a distance from me, Kumquat. Much appreciated.
Of course. I just begins to fly up and sticking between, like, chimneys and rooftops to keep an eye on.
Right. I am going to... I think going to talk to her might be too conspicuous, so I'm going to go back inside to where Powers is.
One thing to remember is you did learn that Erilyn works at Tau Tech, so visiting her later may not be a bad option. But going back into Powers. Alright, as you walk back into the bar.
Actually, okay, before I... Okay, until we make this decision, I'm going to cast Summon Beast.
Okay.
An aerial beast who looks like a bee as well.
An aerial beast.
This is Tangerine.
Okay.
And yeah, I tell Tangerine, like, keep an eye on her and report back to me with her location. I shouldn't be too far behind you.
Okay.
Then I go inside to see Powers.
Okay. Powers is sipping a Mai Tai and giving you this look of like, told you so.
She's just asking to be assassinated.
She is retiring.
Figuratively or...
Little both.
A little both. Did she have a target on her back before this?
That's why she was chosen. She does not.
Chosen?
You heard her. Many of us know. We've been tracking the problems in this city for centuries.
Centuries? Oh my.
Started off as magnetic fluctuations and polarity wobbles.
And a queen bee.
Yep. The queen bee has been helping maintain a healthy ecosystem on the exterior of Tauliva. She's more important than you know.
Lemon smirks. Right. Protect the queen. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can ask. What's your role in all of this?
I am picking up where the last CEO before Solarian left off with her research centuries ago. Lemon, this is the research that you guys found on that bulletin.
Mm-hmm. So when we saw the bulletin board, what all was going on there?
That was the former CEO was tracking the polarity shifts and had that generation of the leadership of Tauliva pictures, and they were starting to connect dots as to who knew what and what was going on for how long.
Yes, I'm familiar with your work.
Oh.
You've put in a lot of effort.
Did you know that there is a very interesting character on the Council of Tauliva that has been there for over 500 years, and based on her picture, hasn't aged a day.
Well, she is an elf, so I'm not totally surprised she's been around for 500 years on the council. Although we should have some term limits. I'll just toss that out there.
Well, the founder had ways for them to be reinstituted and re-elected. Each district is in charge of its own process. So as long as she's president, it goes with the territory.
Politics.
Bit of a nasty thing.
It's something I would prefer not to get involved with, yet here we are.
And that is why I'm letting you know the truths. Because someone needs to.
Why me?
Why you? Well, your reputation and your position as a private eye keeps you informed enough that you should know or have an inkling of what could be going on. And your discretion, due to your chosen career path as a private eye, is invaluable and makes you quite trustworthy. That's why you.
Lemon leans forward. Why now?
On a nat 20 perception check, this guy looks around, casts silence over the table. And you see him do this magic. Because there has been a critical mass to where if we don't do something now, we won't have time. We are out of Arcano crystals. The time that she referred to in her speech, the time is up. There is no more buying time. We have mined all the Arcano crystals we can. There are no more. And in the lowest mines, we're hitting a wall that we cannot break through. No one's been able to get through. Theoretically, it should be the core of Tauliva, of whatever this city is. But it's not nothing there. There's a something down there. People have been going missing for decades, and that you know. Your own friends went missing. But you and the people of Tauliva need to understand that time is out. Time is up. If they go through with this fair, there will be millions of people using a resource that is out and that is empty. Without new crystals, we can't make or provide new energy. Parasol power can't do its job. Power outages more common. Technology glitches are gonna happen more frequently. And why now? Because it's too late. They can't do anything about it. They can't kill us all. We're dead already.
Lemon doesn't like that answer.
And with the silence around it too.
Yeah. And why today?
Because there's still time to call off those ships.
But is there time to evacuate Tauliva?
If the fair doesn't happen, yes. We're at that level of critical where if the things happen the right way, if we stop the fair and stop a million people from being on the city at the same time, and we're able to get people off the city quick enough, yes.
Well, then I suggest another rally, sooner rather than later, where you present all of this evidence to fully convince everyone, so you can get as many people as possible to boycott the fair. So as of right now, it's just a few people outside. Only a fraction of them probably believe this. The majority won't do a thing.
In tomorrow's paper, you will see this coverage on the speech. In there will be additional proof.
Okay.
Because we've been leaking information to the press today.
Are you sure it won't be suppressed by the council?
We sent it directly to the news broadcast stations and the press. So if they were to do this and silence it, they have the entire press corps to deal with. Because all of them will know the truth, and eventually it would still leak out. Whether it be in time or not is a problem we have to face. But the other thing I'm doing is I am writing letters to the heads of governments, telling them not to come. With as much proof as I can reasonably do without making them distrust the company.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still need a job after this.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for reaching out. And I will do my best to assist.
Thank you. He shakes your hand. And he gets up to leave, dropping the silence spell. He gets up, he leaves, and heads into the government building.
Alright, the next thing Lemon does is settle his tab.
Water was free, it's fine.
Okay.
You have 10 cents for the lime.
Yeah, I toss a couple of copper, you know. Mm-hmm. And next up, Lemon follows his beast. I actually don't think in the spell I have psychic contact or anything with the beast, so I guess I'll wait around for the beast to. I did tell the beast to come back to me once. I don't remember if I phrased it like this, but I told me to come back to me like once she was in a stable location. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I hover around outside above the crowd and wait for the beast to return to me.
Okay. Coming from the invention district up over a small mountain, you see your beast, and Tangerine just comes right back up and gives you the message of she's in her office in Taotek.
I should have gotten to her sooner. There's no way I'll be able to get into Taotek. Do I know if Taotek, like if they've got badges to scan in?
Taotek is where you guys did your heist.
Yeah.
So the security there is you can get up to the second floor for like on a museum trip, but beyond that you'd have to sneak in and break in without actual permission from a scientist or an academic, without it being an academic tour like you were on with Anders.
Yeah. I think this is unfortunate. Might have to put a pin in this. Well, at least I know where to find her. And in his head, he's waffling between, do I follow these former friends who are allied with the founder, or do I interview this woman? And I think Lemon is going to just massage the bridge of his nose. Ugh. I'm allowed some selfishness, and he's going to go after Churro and Biscuit.
Okay. Are you dismissing your beast, your Tangerine, or are you?
I'm dismissing Tangerine.
Okay.
Tangerine. I'm sure by this point, the spell is almost up. It only lasts for an hour.
Oh yeah, then he's absolutely up.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you're rubbing your bridge, Tangerine just pops out of existence because the spell is over, and you start to track down Kumquat. Go ahead and roll a survival check with advantage. You should be pretty solid at that.
Ooh, a natty 20 with advantage for a total of 24.
Fuck yes! I love a good nat 20. Okay. Normally you don't get contact with Kumquat this quickly. Or from
this far away.
Or from this far away, right? But you're able to get you're able to get the phrasing that they are in that temple again that you saw them dip into, and she will stay there until you get there.
Yeah.
But you know right where that location is, so it takes you a couple hours to get down there, and the sun is starting to go down a little bit, and there's a storm coming in. So it's fairly dark at this moment. It's not raining yet, but within another hour and a half or so it will, because you're a druid, so you've got that like primeval awareness type thing going on with nature. So the Biscuit and Chudo already went down, and they were already inside this temple with the flails.
Yeah.
There's one more person that's about to enter, and is walking like down the street from the wild magic zone to go into this temple. And Lemon's smart enough and clever enough to know this is a great time to kind of blend in with this other person, as they're already going to open the doors for them.
All right. I cast Disguise Self.
Okay. What's your disguise look like?
What does this person look like?
This person is a human with a gray goatee and very pale skin that looks like it's stretched over their face, like they're very, very malnourished type of stretch. And they're wearing a black cloak over top of another black cloak. So you can't see what the undercloak looks like, but you can see that they're wearing a cloak over a cloak, which is like, hang on.
Alright, with Disguise Self, Lemon is going to slowly descend and take on the shape of a halfling.
Okay.
The halfling wearing a cloak.
Okie doke. Okay, so as you approach, this older gentleman is like, "Ah, you coming to the meeting too?"
Indeed I am.
Ah, come. He kind of like wraps his arm over you.
Much appreciated.
Yes, there's a storm coming. It's a great night to be down here.
Red sky at night. Shepherd's delight.
Yes. Airmen prefer the red in the morning, though. Much harder to navigate in the morning when there's a red sky, but airmen like it. It's a good challenge. And he does a double knock, and so he just goes, and on the other side of the door you hear a triple knock. He responds back with another double knock, and the doors open. Inside is darkness. You don't have dark vision, do you?
I do not.
Okay. He continues guiding you, and as he puts on a set of glasses. You forgot yours? He pulls out a pair for you. These are dark vision glasses. They just give you dark vision. It's like, well, come.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Yes, well, young ones can't always remember their glasses. It's quite alright.
Oh, I'm quite forgetful. Quite forgetful this one is.
Yes, well, come on, young man, and walk with me. I would love to hear about how you joined the Order of Kali.
Well, a bit through happenstance. I met a churro and a biscuit, and that was through them. We got on right well, and I suppose they saw something in me. I saw something in them.
Ah, yes. In fact, it was Churro who recruited me as well. Great young man. He is.
Wait. He's a peculiar one. Peculiar and enigmatic, strangely enough.
Quite so. He stopped me from falling off the city one day. I fell off of a bridge.
He was always kind.
Yes, and you guys get closer and you see a bonfire in the middle. A dragon's skull alongside the far wall. This is an ancient dragon. Best you can tell, it looks to be a red dragon skull.
Okay.
The skin, the skin and muscles that are on it are pale white, like they've been underground for so long. And there are other bones, like, encircling. And the wings are held up by wire, so that it looks like the skull and the what skeleton they have is flying. You see Churro, Biscuit, and an elven gentleman in the middle of them. Beautiful golden hair, braided in a triple braid that's then braided together. And he has a black hood up. You can see the golden hair through the cloak, and there's 24 other followers at their spots in a painted sigil, and there's 2 spots empty. The old man takes up one, and he's like, "Well, looks like this spot's for you."
Lemon takes the spot. Well, first I'm going to roll Arcana to see if I can figure out what this is. Oh, and that's a natty 1 for a total of 7. Yeah, I think Lemon... Like, all this happens so quickly, almost like he's being shoved to the spot. And so, there he is.
Okay. I love a beautiful nat 1. The elven man pulls out a glass carafe filled of this red liquid. He pours 24 cups as you guys as they pass it all the way around. Everyone starts drinking from their cup. When your cup gets to you, do you drink?
Can I roll survival to see?
You can absolutely roll survival to identify this liquid.
17.
Blood.
Oh, that's grody. I'm going to try and... Would this work? No, it has to be a creature. I'm going to lean over and say, "This is my first time. What is this?"
It's the blood of the dragon. By drinking it, we are granted some of the dragon's vitality. It's how I'm so old.
Right. I drink the blood.
Okay.
Should I roll a Constitution saving throw?
Yes, please.
19.
Okay. If you want to spit it out, you can. If you want to actually drink it, swallow it, you can. Because you do see some people are drinking it and spitting it out and spraying it on the ground. They can't. They still can't handle that for however long they've been here. Some of these look like younger people. But as he drinks from this cup, you see the older guy. His skin becomes less taut. His face flushes out. For a second, you think you see his skin get a reddish hue, reddish scaly hue, and then it disappears and it fades back into his normal, still pale skin color.
I drink it.
You're gonna swallow it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you drink from the cup. You feel this draconic essence join your own being. One of two things, and I'm going to give you the choice. Either A, I can give you a flat 10 hit points, permanent, or B, I can let you take a level in Draconic Sorcerer. There's two solid choices. One's just a flat 10 hit points.
Ugh.
In fact, I would even make it easier for you on the D&D Beyond. Basically, give you the tough feat.
Yeah, I'll take the tough feat.
Take tough feat? Okay.
Yeah. I don't think this is enough to justify sorcery. Well, okay, hold on. Give me one more second.
Okay. Drinking the blood of a dragon is a powerful elixir, so... And the whole time this is going on, you hear like a ritualistic whisper going on in the background. And as people drink, you see the sigil that's on the floor start to light up. But as they spit it out, it fades. That part of that sigil fades back down. So they need people constitutionally healthy enough to drink it and keep it down. So you're seeing parts of this sigil fade as these people are spitting the blood back out. But the spot below you and the spot below the old man and most of the others is staying lit. The people who are having it spat out, Biscuit and Churro walk over to each of them, pick them up, and escort them out the building.
Oh boy.
And they come back in carrying a robe. There are now 6 empty spots.
Wonderful. I took the tough feat.
Okay. Good choice. That gives you more hit points every time you level up. I love it. So, you keep it down as Biscuit and Churro walk behind you. And you hear them kind of talking to each other. None of this makes any sense, but we're here doing it because he told us to. Yeah. The order is gonna help with his plan. He knows what he's doing. Trust him. And you hear that exchange as they are headed back to the front. And the elven man looks up, pulls down his hood, and he says, "Well, it appears we will have to try again next week. Bring friends to undergo the ritual and make sure they are hearty indeed. And we will have our next meeting. Our next attempt at this ritual will be in 1 week on the 24th. Until then, enjoy the blessings of Kali." The crowd the couple people start to stand up, and they start to head on out. Including the old man who was right next to you, who is much more spry and sprightly than he was just a second ago. And he walks right on out. Churro and Biscuit are standing up, and they start talking to the elven gentleman. As everyone starts to fade out. So, as you're kind of looking around at this draconic skeleton, you soon realize you're the only one left in the room, with the exception of Biscuit, Churro, and the elven man, who seem to be like in a discussion. Churro points at you, says something to the other two, and the elven man comes over, dismisses Biscuit and Churro, who then leave out of a different door, not through the main door. And he's like, "Now you went halfling, yes?"
Yes.
Okay. So he kneels down, like takes a knee and meets you eye to eye. His piercing silver eyes are staring at you, and he just goes, "This was your first time, wasn't it?"
Indeed.
"Ah. Yes. Well, congratulations on receiving a gift of the dragon."
Thank you. It wasn't an odd sensation.
Yes, it always is the first time. However, over time, you will gain more gifts of the dragon. as Kali continues to bless those who follow the dragon. In fact, I have been worshipping at the skull of the dragon for decades. In fact, I was the one who brought this skull here from the Frostfang peaks, where it had laid for centuries.
Intriguing. How'd you find it?
A story my grandfather once told me.
What was the story?
And he full on sits down and starts using minor illusion to help showcase his story. Well, over 2,000 years ago, this dragon kept parts of the continent from being hit by numerous other meteors. There were more than 5 headed this way. It died in the process, and its body landed in a crevasse up in Frostfang. At the same time, there is rumored to have been a god who was killed by the name of Kali. We know not why they died. We know not their full name, even. Kali is the only name we have left. But we await the return of the daughter of Kali. Because my grandfather was there when the daughter was found and stored in an oak. We do not know where she is beyond that. However, we have been growing, and the Order of Kali honors both the dragon and the god, whose name is forgotten. In our dedication to becoming stronger ourselves, would you like to see what worshipping for so long and drinking the blood of the dragon for so long gets you?
Yes.
He steps back about 15, 20 feet, and he straight up transforms into a half-dragon.
This definitely takes a limb in the back.
You still see his piercing silver eyes. The spines that run down his back are blonde, so they're still in that golden yellow color. The scales are his pale skin color, but with a reddish hue, so he almost looks pink. He almost looks like a pink dragon. And this is an absolutely wild experience. As wings sprouted from his back, he hunkered down as the wings sprouted and then stood back up. He's now standing about 16.5 feet high. This is what decades gets you.
What if I don't want to be a dragon?
Who doesn't want to look this magnificent? As his tone changed entirely to a bit more cocky, a bit more draconic.
You've sold me.
I will see you next week then, young man.
Indeed you shall.
Bring your friends. We need healthy young people like you to complete the ritual.
I have 3 I do believe I can bring.
Good.
And he transforms back into himself. That power is nothing. My father told me that my grandfather had the power to turn into a full-on dragon. Not merely a half-dragon. If decades gets you that, centuries will get you full. However, I'm so sorry you do not have that train of time.
I'm sorry as well.
Well, I have business to attend to, so we shall... Do you wish to walk out with me?
Yes.
Fantastic. He walks out and goes to another head, and he takes a left to go towards another church inside of the cleric district. Where does Lemon go at this point?
Yeah, no, I feel like Lemon would follow him.
Okay. So when you follow him for a little longer, he doesn't see you, he doesn't notice, and he walks into a church of Torm.
Oh.
And his outfit changes to match what it should be. And you see a congregation there. As he walks up to the pulpit.
Does everyone... I changed my illusion. It's still a halfling, but so I like more common.
Mm-hmm. Switch the fake scar from the left side to the right side now.
Yes. Well, I mean, I was wearing like the big old cloak, so like the black cloak, so that just doesn't feel appropriate to wear.
It's not.
Yeah. So
his cloak even magically changed into a blue.
Exactly. Yeah. So I guess I just
gold number.
Try and match what everyone else is wearing.
Okay, they're just wearing normal clothes at this point.
Cool. Yeah.
Because he's just doing up a church service for Torm. Dressed in the colors of Torm, so it's blue and I believe it's blue and gold.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the gold fist of Torm on the back, and he just begins giving a judgment day, a justice speech, that judgment is coming for those who are not worthy. Justice will be rendered down upon them. That kind of a speech for them, and he begins to end his speech with saying a story about a time in the frozen north that he was rescued by a follower of Torm. There was a time when I believed that justice was a dagger in the dark. And he just summons a shadowy dagger that then disappears. I served lords and masters who whispered of order, of destiny, of shaping the world into something better. One of them we called our founder. They had a mind like a star, burning too bright to question. To walk beside such brilliance and to learn from them was intoxicating until the brilliance scorched everything it touched. I was a tool, a whisperer, a watcher, an enforcer. I told myself it was for the greater good. The sacrifice was the price of progress. That justice could be bent if it was bent towards vision. As he looks out among the congregation. But now I see justice is not meant to bend. It stands or it falls, and mine had fallen. I was betrayed, cast aside like a loose end. I found myself half buried in snow, near death in the frozen north, colder inside than out. And that's when he spoke, not the founder, not a master, but Torm. Torm sent me a light, a cleric named Malin Tarsk. She didn't ask what I'd done. She didn't demand penance. She simply saw me. And in that moment, in her eyes, I saw myself. She told me something that shattered the chains I didn't even know I wore. Freed me from things I didn't know held me back. By merely telling me, justice isn't vengeance. It isn't obedience. It's truth. So I rose from the snow, and I stood not to destroy what I had served, but to expose it. I spoke names. I revealed secrets. Revealed the truth and the lies, bringing daylight into rooms that I had only ever known shadow. Some call it treason. I call it justice. And now I speak to you not as a weapon, not as a shadow, but as a priest of Torm. I do not deny my past. I carry it like the icy veins I had that day. But it no longer rules me. The founder believed the world must be reshaped. But Torm taught me that justice is not about reshaping the world. It's about restoring what is right within it. For if the snow can forgive the footprints we leave behind, so can we forgive those who left footprints in our life. And he locks eyes with someone else in the crowd. When you look at that person, you see that it's a Goliath with a churro tattoo. Who then gets up. Praise Tom for his justice and your deliverance that day. And he walks out into another room at the entrance. Not the entrance, but one of the off rooms. And the rest of the congregation applauds and praises the priest. But Churro's by himself. Is there anything Lemon's going to do in this moment? Rather, let's do this. What's going through Lemon's head at this moment? What is Lemon thinking about this whole kerfuffle that's been going on?
Right now he's thinking he should probably bail. Like, he's in a little too far right now. There's a lot that he needs to wrap his head around. As great an opportunity as this might be to dive in more, he's recognizing he's already spoken with several people. He doesn't know how long he can keep his story up. He's already made a few risky moves. And so, having already been in the back, he slowly, quietly exits the church.
Okay. Just so we know how quietly, roll a stealth check. I'll give you advantage because it's a pretty populated crowd.
Oh, excellent. I'm going to use a luck point.
Okay.
$13.
Okay, so with a 13, you're quiet enough. Oh yeah, he rolled a 6. The only one really looking at you was the pastor. He rolled a 6 on the die. He might have gotten like a 10 or 11, but not enough to be at a 13. So you were able to sneak out the back. Not the back, but out the main entrance. And I think the weight of the day really starts to hit Lemon, and he's got a lot of notes to write down. Correct me if you think I'm wrong.
He does. He's also, I'm sure, just physically, mentally exhausted, having had dragon's blood. Just everything he's learned. Yeah, he's exhausted. He's going to head back to base and take his notes.
So are you going to Cass's house, or are you going to your apartment?
Cass's house.
Okay. So you get back to Cass's house. And Tommy is out at work. Amy's petri dish has Amy in it, who's taking a nap because it's fairly late at this point. And Jedediah is sitting there eating a pizza, listening to the radio. Evening, Lem.
Evening, Jed.
Holy shit, he got a nat 20 on Insight. What? You look like something's bothering you. What's going on?
Work nonsense. Things I can't talk about.
Yeah, that makes sense. We've been going through some of that information on the that device. It's a good thing that they got that bomb. Well, wait. Where did it go? Cass had it, right? You guys said that's what Amy was saying. It's Cass had it. And took it to somebody.
It's complicated.
Well, I'm here to help, so, and any way to help you guys is the way to help Cass. You need a pizza? He's still got half a not slice, but half of a pizza there.
Yes, I do.
All right, here you go. And he hands you like just 2 slices of pizza and says, "You want a margarita? I got some in the fridge."
Yes, I do.
All right. He goes and gets you a margarita. You want an umbrella? I found him. Cass had him hidden.
Yes, I do.
All right. What color?
Pink.
Gives you a pink umbrella and hands you a margarita. As you guys sit and talk about some of the research that you guys have had in the house before that he would have had access to listen to, because y'all have said he can't read, which is fantastic and I love it. But he's heard information, and you guys begin having a conversation about all of that as the night wears on. At midnight, in the same spot as the Order of Kali gathered. A black-cloaked individual addresses the elven man, Biscuit, Churro, and a few others from around Taliba, including Director Powers, and a few other scientists from Tautech, as well as a few scientists from the university, stuff like that. And the gentleman in the black cloak, you can't see his face, no one can make it out at this moment, but he begins speaking. We must save this great city. Taliba cannot fall. You all here know what we are here to do. The citizens of Taliba do not know and cannot know yet that this city has failed in its mission. The vision I had for Taliba when I created it and when I founded it over 1800 years ago was for it to be a beacon of intellect and knowledge and discovery for the entirety of the continent. That Torsamil would use its light to push itself further and further. Because there is technology in these minds. There's a new innovation that has yet to be uncovered that I need. We cannot let this city fall. Because it has not paid its debt yet. The elven man stands up. The blonde elven pastor, priest, stands up. Well, it seems like we have to figure out how to get these discoveries to move faster. Could the gods help, by chance? Have you asked them, Founder? Yes, I have, in fact, asked them, and they have told me nothing. Which is why you are trying to raise Kali. Because Kali might know something. If not, I will have to figure something else out. I have gathered you together here to push you forward and motivate you. By the way, Director Powers, fine speech. Thank you for bringing the plight of Tautech to the forefront so that the people understand that their rampant use of those crystals is only hurting the mission. Do you have a report on how that went? Is Erilyn safe? Yeah, Erilyn is absolutely safe. I am bringing her to a friend in 2 weeks. And he'll keep her safe. I know he will. And he will be discreet. Discretion is his top trait. Besides, I think Mr. Little Tart would would still prove useful to the mission and the cause. Up front, Biscuit and Shooter look at each other. Lemon? Biscuit raises his hand awkwardly. We know Lemon. You want us to go get him? We can bring him to you. The founder looks down at them. No. He'll find us. Besides, he was at your meeting tonight. And none of you knew. This is going to be interesting. By the way, Biscuit, Churro, don't let him catch you. Because if he does, I think it'll be harder to win him over to our side. Especially after you betrayed him back when you were kids. Edgar, I need a favor. Distract him. And you, the mining core, I need you to break through that wall. I need what's inside. There's knowledge there and I can smell it. I need to know what's in the core of this floating city.